Welcome back to Valley Boys TCG. CK here, and we've got round 2 of our locals tournament. We are trying to keep it going with ShinGodzilla, and we have another SpaceGodzilla. This one actually is Leo, because of course we gotta run into the boy here at locals. So we start off with just a simple invade 1 and rage up, and then we're just gonna kind of creep along. Now, this match gets very interesting, and unfortunately, and I will say it here, it does get cut off the last like 2 minutes, or the last turn essentially, or last 2 turns, I guess, something like that. But I wanted to show the match because it was probably my favorite match of the night. It was so much fun, and the heartbreak when we looked up at the camera and realized it had shut off. Now, fortunately, it got to the end, so I can just fill in the blank at the very end. So just the heads up, but you will get to see like 99% of the game, and I'll just explain how it goes out at the end. But let's go ahead and continue the gameplay. So you see he's already done the classic invade 2, get 2 tokens out, and we're just going to creep along. Tossing a helicopter is probably not the best thing you want to do for Shin, and you see right there, I did forget to advance at the end of turn. That was my mistake. I think we were just chit-chatting around and did not advance. So yeah, my bad there. That's a misplay on my part. And he's just gonna keep going and keep making crystals, keep doing the SpaceGodzilla things. And yep, gets the 3rd crystal, gets the counterattack. The bane of my existence, that God of Destruction counterattack. Just so good, so easy to get online. And so we are here in our form 2. And so we are not going full combo yet. We don't have all the pieces. So we decide to form change here into the 2023 that forces them to discard hand size. I think this is one of my favorite red cards, making them discard down to 4. And we see Godzilla attacks and Oda Island. So now we can, so we use Godzilla attacks to get to 6, so we can Oda Island, and that'll allow us to drop King of the Monsters at the start of our counter phase here. So should get us enough to counter him. Now, I was really torn as to whether or not to place it on 8 or to place it in one of the zones 1 through 5 so that it doesn't get destroyed. But I realized I don't have 3 rage anyway, so I can't protect it. So it's safest to just sit at 8. And then we advanced to 7, and now we're threatening. See, yeah, I think we were 1 card short of the Shin combo there, because I think we just didn't draw it. We didn't draw the right Godzilla rank 2 that we needed to Shin combo off, or we didn't have a way to pop the crystal as well. I think that's what we were missing. And so you see he invades into 6 and pops our Oda Island, and now he can play his own. So a little bit of mirror play here, and so he goes into counter, gets his own monster. Okay, so there's a little misplay here. He sequenced it wrong. He realized, oh, Oda was supposed to be in counter phase. Where I knew what he was going for, and Leo's the homie, so I'm like, yeah, let's just resequence that correctly. So it would have been, he plays the God of Destruction first, then goes in a counter to go ahead and play the King of the Monsters to get the counter. And so, yep, we are countered already, and then he is up to zone 8, so he is now threatening the invasion himself. So we got a couple of invasion rushes here. We're both countering really well. It's moving along. He still has 3 crystals, so we need to find something to deal with those crystals. Honestly, that's kind of the bane of our existence here. And if we had the cards, this is the opportunity for Shin combo, because you burst from a 3. Unfortunately, I did not have enough strategy cards to make it work, because I think I had the submarine and not the cabinet helicopter because we tossed it, or there was something off. I remember being like, I'm 1 card short, and that was my thing this whole tournament, as I'm 1 card short. But since he is an 8, we get to play another rank 8 Godzilla, so we got all the Godzilla 8s down. We should have enough to counter him with our rage boost to King of the Monsters and the new rank 8 23. We got no rage to reduce on him, but we do get the knockback. And so we are, again, off to the races. Now we have the lead, but he's got plenty of crystals. So he does still have Oda Island because we weren't able to invade to 6, so that could be a problem. He could play another big Godzilla out here during the counter phase. I don't like him counting trash because you may notice that his trash, he has it set up separately to count how many King Ghidorahs he has. Because again, that's what Space G is partner. You know, the SpaceGodzilla and the Astro Monster kind of pair well together. And so he's raging up, and it looks like he's getting close to enough King Ghidorahs and trash to 23 in me. And yeah, here he goes to double check. And I don't remember if at this point he may be one short. But he has enough monsters to gam. So yeah, that's one way to do it. Start of counter phase, he can use Oda to gam. Or sorry, he can use Oda to play gam. And but that's the only thing he has on board. So it's just gonna kind of stick around, and he's gonna end and advance. Advance to 5. So here we can go ahead and try and invade to pop his Oda. And you see we got, I mean, it's just like big boy on big boy. We're consistently over the 30,000, I should say. Consistently over 30,000. We see the Satsuma. We finally decide to do the Satsuma thing. So we had it last turn, I believe, but we were missing something. Ginza Annihilated would be really good right here because we could pop crystals. And we use Satsuma to move up to Heat Ray Charge because I think we're trying to draw into the combo. So here we rage up. But now we don't have a way to pop what's on 8. So unfortunately, we just could not get the combo off. It was a very weird tournament. We got to, you know, play Shin. But spoiler alert here, I did not get to Shin combo. And I think it's because I used the Satsuma, and I think I should have just leaned heavily into Attack Helicopter. And we realized we're not going to survive this turn, so we toss the rank 2, the Shin Creepster there to just get more rage. We do Space Beam him, which is nice because we get to reduce his hand size, make it harder for him to counter us. And since we did invade, we did get rid of his strategy or his base, so we're sitting okay. The problem is we don't currently have a way to blast that SpaceGodzilla. And so we see him invade. So this is good for us because if he doesn't counter us, our best course of action is his end of turn to place him and see. Well, the problem is that invasion is going to reset our rage. So it's going to make it easy for him to counter us. But hypothetically, we want him on 7 so that we can Godzilla landing and push him to 8 and be able to get the invasion. But yeah, it is very back and forth here. I mean, Leo he's mastered his SpaceGodzilla. And here comes 23 in me. He has the names in trash now. And we're on zone 7, so he can definitely start 23. And you know what? It's so nice. Let's do it thrice. 3-headed Ghidorah. Let's see 3-headed 23. So he completely locks down the turn. The elbow is locked down, basically locked down the whole board. The only thing that's unaffected are zones 1 and 2, and I'll never be there. So, yeah, big counter power here. Since our rage is reset, definitely countered, but to much of his dismay, we have Godzilla 23. And we realize here that when, because of the SpaceGodzilla, it destroys a rank 5 or lower, so Satsuma should have been destroyed, so we catch it late, but we catch it there. But here we are, rank 23, or the rank 4, but we have the built-in Heat Ray Godzilla. So, 23 and me is not going to stick around for much long, so we rage, blast him. Now we can invade one. I guess technically we could invade 2, but we're going to go ahead and we realize we should have Ginza Annihilated first, so that was a misplay for sure. We're going to invade 1, and then we're going to rage. Rage is going to blast another 23 and a 1 token. See, we should have Ginza Annihilated first to blast the first token, and we totally misplayed there, but that's fine. We leave him to 1 token. If we counter him here, he's going to stomp on the token anyway, so it all works out. Unless we decide to do the Stompy Boy thing and Godzilla landing, push him to 8, have him stomp on the Gam. And we should have enough counter to also have him stomp on the 23 himself. So he went from a very menacing board to us clearing board. So yeah, very, very tricky play here. And then he very cleverly, so when he enters the SpaceGodzilla, he can move something that's in his way. So he moves our King of the Monsters to Zone 6 because it is at the end of the counter phase. And then we realize, wait, now we're going to advance end of turn and stomp him. So very, very smart way. We made him double stomp, so he made us stomp on our 8, essentially, inadvertently or indirectly. Very, very smart play to when he entered, he moves what was in Zone 8 to Zone 6, knowing that our end of a turn advancement will force us to stomp, therefore clearing off one of our King of the Monsters. So a lot of high IQ plays for destruction here. And like I said, this was one of my favorite games of the night. And he goes and does a 7 rage. Now, for some reason, he put the rage in front of Zones 7 and 6. And I was pointing at it. I was like, why is this here? He catches it afterwards and moves it. But I think it just kind of sticks around there. And yeah, because of the rage, he gets all the crystals. So many crystals. So now we've got to hold him back somehow. He is a huge, whopping 76 threat. 76, yeah. Very hard to get around. Our threat will come back down to 37. Our counter is a little on the lower side. We're 16 now, but we can rage up and get some more counter ability. So first we decide to rage so that we can blast a crystal. Then we can 2-step into 8. We'll rage again to blast 2 more crystals. That should knock off about 3k from his threat. Yeah, there we go. Rage, blast it again. Yeah, this Godzilla 2023 at the top end is very, very powerful. The built-in heat ray is so good. And since we're on 8, we can go ahead and play King of the Monsters. And so now we're just going to keep raging up. I think we're trying to keep track of what he should be at 73. Our counter is a lot of numbers. There we go, not quite there yet. And then we realize we put it on the wrong side, and he's cool with me moving it around because we're just kind of talking things out. And I realized, putting it on 2 is no point to protect it. I'm better off putting it over here where he can't heat ray it. And so we go into the Fest Godzilla to try to get more rage. This was a Hail Mary play to go into Fest here to try to get more rage. If we could have gotten 1 more rage, I think we were just 1 short or something. We needed a little bit more rage to boost up our King of the Monsters to try to get there. And so this is where the game cuts off. Now, we don't get the counter here. He advances and he's unable to counter us. He gets to 66,000, and our very next turn we rage enough and play enough. I think we also get a something on board to actually double win. We get him into Zone 8, so we get the invasion victory, but we also match him at 66, so we also get the counter victory. So this was we did get him in the next turn. It was such a close matchup. I really wish I got the very last end, but you know, hopefully you guys get the picture. It was such a fun matchup. Shout out to Leo. Hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. Come back for the next one.